security expert Mike Johnson and audio expert Bob Grove take up their part of the mission. They are just 2 miles from the rear entrance to Area 51, and they're certain that security can see them coming.
There's several ways that they can sense, of course.
I'd imagine they're listening to us right now.
Well, it could be.
They're certainly watching us, but yeah. I'd imagine they're listening pretty close. Fence line right up there.
They decide to walk the fence line, keeping their eye on the guardhouse.
Let's see what we've got down here.
There's some type of sensing unit on that fence right there, that white box.
Could be, could be. Take a look and see what that is.
Security is well aware of them.
That's far enough for me.
Yeah, let's check the other side of the road, see if there's anything there.
From 100 yards away, they get their first glimpse of the private security force contracted to guard Area 51. Known to insiders as the Camo Dudes. So called because of their desert camouflage uniforms. Bob and Mike want a closer look, but they know one step over the line would put their mission in jeopardy. This is not the time to test the boundaries.
I don't want to end up in jail.
Yeah.
Mike and Bob make a quick strategic retreat. On the desert floor, disguised as campers, Bob Grove and Mike Johnson are setting up to monitor anything coming or going inside Area 51. They won't be able to see directly into Area 51, but Bob will be able to monitor any transmissions.
If there is a presence of phenomena of any type, it can be measured in a physical sense, and there are a variety of test instruments that can do that. For example, this little device, turn it on here. Aha. You hear that little chirping sound. This indicates that we have transmitters on, and you and I happen to know that we have because each of us is wearing one. It's our little wireless microphones.
Right.
With monitors set, Bob and Mike settle in for a long night of listening. It's almost 2 a.m. Electronic specialist Bob Grove and security expert Mike Johnson are encamped just outside the base's border.
Here, and if the signal comes on, it will make us...
Bob's high-tech radio equipment will monitor any ground or air activity at Area 51.
Stay on there. And if I want to monitor that, we're particularly interested in looking for signals that pop up in this frequency range because this is a federal government range. One is in the 160 megahertz to 170 megahertz range. And then we go a little bit higher, where military aircraft in the 225 to 400 megahertz range.
What they hear is the actual sound of Area 51.
6-5 on Fox 4.
Bob adjusts the frequency.
What's that chatter that we're hearing there on the radio?
That's security.
Okay. Talking about us?
Could be.
Mike and Bob suspect they're being monitored by Area 51 security. They will ride out the night waiting to see if they'll be hassled by the legendary security team. Chuck and Guy can see lights appear. Tonight, on the mountain peak and on the desert floor, the air has been strangely silent. Then, the steady static is interrupted.
U2, flight 180, blocking flight 190.
Bob struggles to keep the frequency in range.
We have now a number of military aircraft air-to-ground frequencies active, indicating they've got something in the air, as well as ground control frequencies.
In the valley below, Mike and Bob suspect they have been watched all night by base security. They are ready to meet with Chuck and Guy, but have one last place on the map to check.
Well, if I listen to Chuck correctly, the main gate ought to be about 10 miles or less off there toward that hill.
As they close in on the official entrance, Mike is startled by something in the mirror. Barreling toward them is an enormous vehicle. With its windows painted black to protect or hide its passengers, it speeds toward a day's work at the top secret base.
Holy smokes.
The bus doesn't even slow down.
I think the bus was doing a little more than 45, maybe
He was-
145.
He was hustling.
He was.
Time is running out, but Mike and Bob know they're close.
I see orange markers on the hillside there, and that's what Chuck said delineated their boundary. And there's some type of unit sitting up there, and here's the boundary right here.
Yeah, there we are.
This is as far as I want to drive.
This humble stretch of road is one of the most secure spots on the planet.
Some censoring units up there on the hill.
Looks like it, yeah, the big one on top especially.
People who have crossed this line have been arrested, interrogated, stripped of cameras, phones, even their clothes.
No trespassing beyond this point.
Photography of this area is prohibited. Well, I think this is probably about it.
This is as far as I'm willing to go.
Yeah.
Sitting on a rise with a perfect view of Mike and Bob is a member of the Area 51 security force known as the Camo Dudes. They're not military, but a private police force assigned to keep everyone away from Area 51.
Here's the deal. We are his excitement. There's a real live person in there really watching us, listening to us right now. He's probably laughing at me, talking about him.
Still a lot of activity on the security channels.
Well, I think we've seen just about all we're going to see here, and I'm not willing to go any further.
Yeah, I don't think we should tempt fate.
With security definitely alerted to their presence, they know it's time to leave and meet up with Guy and Chuck.
Hey guys.
You guys as tired as we feel?
Good night. How are you?
All right.
See you.
The team's investigation has proven Area 51 is fully operational.
Radio came alive with getting ready for a mission.
We had an excellent view of the base. It was incredible at that range, you know.
If what Mr. X says is true, then men like Chuck Clark and his teammates may offer the best hope for reforming a military base where absolute secrecy is eroding the line between fact and fiction.
We're the only superpower left, and yet secrecy at Area 51 has grown rather than decreased in the last couple of years. And you have to ask yourself, why?
Why does the military cloak Area 51 in such a thick veil of secrecy? Is it to protect national security? Or does it merely provide cover for more nefarious activities? Either way, the government's not talking. But take a trip out to the desert, walk right up to Area 51's perimeter, and look headlong at the fence that's keeping you out. What Chuck or any of his cohorts will tell you straight up, if you want answers, the truth is in there.